Is this thing on? Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mark Beard and I was diagnosed with diabetes at 12 years old. When I was first diagnosed with diabetes, I really knew nothing about it. I kind of went to the hospital because I wasn't feeling very well. I was always peeing a lot for like the week leading up to it, and we told the doctor my symptoms and they tested my blood sugar, and when they tested it, it was so high it wouldn't even read on like the meter they had, so they had to like do a lot of blood work. And when they finished like the blood work and stuff, they came back into the room and basically told me that I had type 1 diabetes, like I had the common cold. Like they just went in, said it, and said, okay, you're going upstairs for a week. And they didn't really say much else. So like me and my entire family were just like really freaked out. And when they came in, they showed us the blood work and my blood sugar was 1147. And all of the nurses there were honestly shocked I was still awake, still like alive, honestly, because that is the highest number I've ever seen anyone on any diagnosis story. And I was still like awake and talking and everything, and it was really scary. When I first got diagnosed, I honestly thought like my life was over. I was a competitive swimmer at the time, and I didn't really think I could keep doing that. I thought I was gonna have to eat salad and vegetables and fruit for every single meal. I was really ignorant to what diabetes was. And most of the time, like a lot of people are, they kind of mix type 1 and type 2 together. And I never like fault anyone for that because I was the same way. Unless you really have a family member in your life that has type 1, you really don't really understand what it is, especially as a young kid or an early adult. And even like 40, 50, 60-year-olds like come up to me and was like, hey, you can't eat that. And I kind of just let them know like what type 1 is versus what type 2 is, and I never really get mad at anyone because like I was honestly the same way, and most people aren't really educated about what type 1 is, and that's kind of what I wanted to change, making this channel. And I just really wanted to inspire other type 1s or just people really interested in triathlon. In 2019, I completed my first half Ironman in Tempe, Arizona with little to no training. I'm talking I did like 1 or 2 swims in like an entire year, maybe 1 bike, like 10-mile bike, and like 2 or 3 4-mile runs. And I know what you're thinking, that is entirely not smart, and I completely agree. I was lucky to even finish, and I only finished with about 45 minutes left to the cutoff. And I promised myself the next Ironman I ever complete that I'll actually fully commit to training, and I'm trying to blow my time out of the water. And I just really wanted to start this YouTube channel to make me accountable for my training, and I wanted to inspire people with type 1 diabetes that if you set your mind to something, you can compete at anything. So the race I'm training for is Ironman Florida, Panama City Beach, 70.3. It is May 15th, so I got about 5 months to go. I have been training, unlike Ironman Arizona 70.3 in 2019, where that was an absolute mess. I ended up walking about 9 of the 13 miles of the marathon, and my bike was okay, all things considered, honestly, because I only did about probably 10-15 miles of training leading up to it in an entire year. So all things considered, like, I'm shocked I finished, like absolutely shocked. It was extremely hard, probably the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, not only physically but mentally. Throughout the whole race, like, it's an extremely mental battle, which is the reason why I really love the sport, just to kind of break through that mental barrier and know that, like, I can accomplish anything if I really set my mind to it. For the race in Florida, I plan to kind of beat my time by about an hour and a half, hopefully. I'm trying to break 6.5 hours for the half. And in Arizona, I did about 8 hours and 3 minutes. And the cutoff time is 8 hours and 30 minutes, so I barely made it. But how, like, the finish works is, like, they start the clock when the pros go off, and then it's a rolling start. So, like, the clock really said 8:03, but I'm pretty sure I did it in about 7 hours and 45 minutes, 7 hours, 40 minutes. I can't really remember the exact time, but I know it was quicker than 8 hours because that's, like, when the pros went off. And the age groupers go off probably about 30 to 40 minutes after the pros. I was a competitive swimmer all my life, so the swim really wasn't difficult for me. For the half, I did it in about 36 minutes. I know I can probably do it in under 30 minutes if I actually trained, and hopefully in Florida, I'll be ready. I've been training for about 4 or 5 months consistently, almost every day. I do take 1 day off every week. I just think it's really important to rest my muscles and kind of get me back going. I usually take the off day on Sunday, so I can spend time with family. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads from me. And if you have type 1 diabetes, definitely leave a comment. I like to see that fellow type 1 diabetics are watching this, because I think that's awesome, and I really hope I inspire at least one person watching. I think that would honestly make my day. I will be going over my nutrition plan and my overall diabetes management throughout the race, throughout the swim, the bike, and the run.